Hi guys, it's me, Dimension Battles, and in today's video, I'm showing you the cards that I made before Dimension Battles. So these cards right here, I made directly before I ever made Dimension Battles, which I thought was pretty cool. So first up, we have Spikey Pine, a stage Earth type with 200 power and 200 defense. You can deal 200 damage to the creature that destroyed him. I never made this card in Dimension Battles, so let me know if this is something that you guys would want to see. Comment that down below. So yeah, basically, I made this directly before Dimension Battles. As you can see, there were some similarities, like the word Earth right here. I was experimenting with the logo. I didn't put a little drawing in the upper left. I just literally wrote the word Earth right there, but it was still pretty nice. And then next up, we have Bubble Squadron A stage 2 archetype with 200 power and 300 defense. As you can see, similar to Dimension Battles, just cards that I made before. Tank Man, a stage 3 archetype with 300 power and 400 defense. And once per game, you can discard one card to deal 200 damage to a creature on the field. The idea was like it's ammunition, so they can attack and stuff like that. So yeah, I colored Scribble Scrabble back then. I still kind of do, but I don't know. I just thought I'd point that out. Anyways, yeah. And then next up, we have Drive Spin Void Dragon. The name was kind of inspired by Beat 'em On, but either way, it's a stage 5 dark type. I know, I went all the way up to stage 5 back then. It was pretty crazy. He has 500 power and 500 defense, and once per game, you can negate one card's effect. I don't exactly remember the rules. I just remember similar to Dimension Battles, but stages were a little different, but still similar. This was the card I was working on before I stopped this game and moved on to another one. So here we have the next game. I was actually going to make a Beyblade theme game because I wanted a Beyblade named Flame Magnus and defense. He is a defense type with 3 attack, 18 defense, and he's a rare. And I just thought it was really funny. I was going to make an entire Beyblade themed game, but yeah. And then I ended up making one of them, and this is the game that I was really debating on whether I should show this game on my channel or Dimension Battles, and then I was like, definitely showing Dimension Battles because the layout looked a lot cleaner. With Ancient Pebble, a stage with 100 power and 300 defense, 0 defense. I actually made 0 defense creatures back then. He's a rock type, and his type is like, his clan's like Jishin, so that's where he belongs to, like, I guess that was the idea. Like, instead of having a type, they had like one thing they belong to. Like, this is a rock warrior, also from Jishin. A stage 2 ancient rock knight, so upgraded from ancient pebble. And then after that, we have ancient rock driller, a stage 3 Jishin from Jishin. It's machine type with 500 power and 400 defense. And then the almighty stage 4 ancient rock warrior. I know, really underwhelming, but a stage 4 with 600 power and 500 defense. And then the next card we have is Owlette. This was inspired by, I don't remember what show, but some show at the time that I was watching, inspired by this card. A stage 1, just part of the Shadow region, and he's a winged beast with 200 power and 200 defense. And it was really interesting. You can see my artwork was getting like, it was really similar. I showed my old homemade TCGs before, but this is the one that's closest to Dimension Battles. And it was the one I made like a month before I started making Dimension Battles, so that was pretty fun. We have Floating Ghosts. I don't know why it's better than Owlette. He actually looks wimpier, but very similar. He's a stage with 200 power and 300 defense. He's a shadow type, and it's a ghost, obviously. And then we have Shadow Warrior. I never made a stage 3 dark type. I just realized that. Well, anyways, Shadow Warrior is a stage 4 800 power and 400 defense, and it's literally Shadow Warrior. I only realized that right now, but I thought it was pretty funny. As you can see, this was literally just a month before I started making Dimension Battles. This was back when I would rush homemade trading card games. I wouldn't take my time on it. I get frustrated. I didn't know how to draw muscles back then, and this was just like, I don't know, in 2017. So yeah, I just thought that was pretty funny, but it still looked pretty cool. And the last card is the one that's closest to Dimension Battles, Ultimate Punisher. So the entire idea behind this card was the card I made for Dimension Battles, and I realized I didn't like the way it looked. 60 power and 50 defense. That was back when I did multiples of 10, and he had like this lightning striking. He's a level 2 dark type. See, dark type still look exactly like Dimension Battles. And then this symbol right there represented the stage. So he was stage 1, and the cards I used were a lot like not as thick back then. Like, they were like cheaper quality, I noticed. But yeah, so this was what I made directly before, and as you can see, let me just get a regular Dimension Battles card out for you guys. As you can see, it's like the entire color scheme of it is a lot different. Here we'll get Flame Spawn Dragon. Yeah, like, just look at Flame Spawn Dragon and look at this one. I didn't color in back then. I didn't color in the power and the defense. I used like a lot different, like, I don't know, it's just big difference, but I just moved that there. There were no rarities back then also. So almost all the Dimension Battles cards could have looked like that layout. I don't know, I just think that's interesting. But yeah, so these were all the cards that I made directly before I ever made Dimension Battles. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video where I showed my card game right before Dimension Battles. And if you did, or I guess the original Dimension Battles, because I called all these games Dimension Battles. Anyways, if you did enjoy this video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more good content. Okay, thanks. Bye, guys.